Hey everyone, so today we're going to continue our monocolor team series, and today we're going to start our Rhythm Link portion of the series. And the first unit we're going to talk about is Undead. Undead's team comps are very interesting, and there's a lot of limited cards, well two, but that's still pretty decent for a single unit. And you'll be surprised how many good team comps there are for Undead. I was a little shocked when I was going through all the information. But as usual for the video, the color order we'll be going through is red, blue, yellow, then green. Okay, but with that, let's just go ahead and start. Okay, for Undead's red team, for Ray's cards, we're going to talk about two. Ray's first card is his limited card for Mysterious Miss, and this scout has already happened last year for us. And unfortunately, based on the notice and what FE Elements has told us, is that this card will never come back, and it's weird because the other servers had this card like multiple times having a revival. So it's odd that we're not getting it again, but it's up to Happy Element. So, and the main set of this card is Performance. And then Ray's second red card is his Noir Shuffle Gotcha card, and that gotcha hasn't happened yet and will happen during these states. And the main set of this card is Vocal. Okay, and then Kalu's red cards, we're going to talk about two for him as well. His first one is going to be his Fake Phantom Thieves gotcha card, and that gotcha has already happened, and those cards are in the standard pool. And the main set of this card is Vocal. And then Kalu's second red card is going to be his Villain Gotcha Scout, and that gotcha hasn't happened yet and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Dance. Okay, and then for Koga's red card, his red card will be for his solo event, and that event has already happened, and those cards will be added to the Memorial Coin Shop in the future. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then for Adonis's red card, his red card is also for his solo event, and that event hasn't happened yet in our server and will happen on these dates. And the main set of this card is also Dance. Okay, and then a brief overview of the red team. We do have a 3 out of 4 main stat team, and that's going to be the Dance main stat team, consisting of Villain Kaodu, Rock Koga, and Beast Adonis. And then there is also a 2 out of 4 team with a Vocal main stat team of Noir Ray and Phantom Thief Kaodu. And thankfully, since the limited is limited and won't be coming back, that card is the odd one out, so you don't need it for any team comps as of this moment. Okay, but that's it for the red team. Next, let's talk about the blue team. So for the blue Undead team, Ray has two blue cards we're going to talk about. First one's going to be for his first tour event, which is Succession Match. And that tour event has happened, and those cards will be added to the Memorial Coin Shop pretty soon. And the main set of this card is Performance. And then for Ray's second blue card is going to be for his Altered Origins tour event, and that tour event hasn't happened yet, and it will be a while before it happens on these dates. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then for Kaodu's blue card, his blue card will be for his feature scout, and that scout hasn't happened yet in our server and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Performance. And then for Koga, there's two blue cards we're going to talk about. The first one's going to be for his Prison Breaker Gotcha Scout, and that scout hasn't happened yet but will happen pretty soon on these dates. And the main set of this card is Vocal. And then Koga's second blue card is his Feature Scout 2 card, and that scout hasn't happened yet and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then for Adonis's blue cards, there's going to be two of them we're going to talk about as well. The first one's going to be for his Tsukumi Gatari Gotcha Scout, and that scout has already happened and those cards are already in the standard pool. And the main set of this card is Vocal. And then Adonis's second card will be for his Doll Gotcha Scout, and that scout hasn't happened yet in our server and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Performance. Okay, and then a brief overview of the blue team. Shockingly, the blue team also has a 3 out of 4, which is going to be a Performance main stat team that consists of Succession Match Ray, Feature Scout Kaodu, and Doll Adonis. The unfortunate thing about this is that one of the 3 cards is a tour event card, so it's easier to obtain, but then the other 2 are gotcha, so it's not going to be as easy. And there's also going to be a 2 out of 4 team for the other 2 main stats. The first one being for Vocal, which is going to consist of Prison Breaker Koga and Tsukumi Gatari Adonis, and then a Dance main stat team of Altered Origins Ray and Feature Scout 2 Koga. Okay, and that's it for the blue team. Next, let's talk about the yellow team. So for Undead Yellow team, Ray has 2 cards we're going to talk about. His first one is going to be his initial card, and that card has been in the game since the beginning, and it's already in the standard pool. And the main set of this card is Vocal. And then Ray's second yellow card will be for his Feature Scout 2 card, and that scout hasn't happened yet in our server and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Performance. And then for Kalu's yellow card, his yellow card will be for his SS Arc 5th Stage Sandstorm tour event, and that tour event hasn't happened yet but will happen pretty soon on these dates. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then for Koga's yellow card, his yellow card is for his feature scout, and that scout has already happened and those cards are in the standard pool, and the main set of this card is Performance. And then lastly for Adonis, his yellow card is his Tanabata tour event card, and that tour event hasn't happened yet and will happen during these dates, and the main set of this card is Vocal. Okay, and then an overview of the yellow team. The yellow team is the only card that doesn't have a 3 out of 4, and they all have 2 out of 4s. The first one being the vocal main stat team that consists of Initial Ray and Tanabata Adonis, and the second one being a performance main stat team of Future Scout 2 Ray and Future Scout Koga. And unlike the other ones, unfortunately, Kaoru is the odd one out in these team comps. And pretty much like the others as well, a lot of them are gacha cards, so it's gonna be pretty hard to get. Okay, but that's it for yellow team. Lastly, let's talk about the green team. So for Undead's green team, Ray's green card is going to be for his Future Scout card, and that scout has already happened, and those cards are in the standard pool. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then for Kaoru's green cards, we're going to talk about two. The first one is going to be for his A to Z Shuffle event, and that event has already happened, and those cards are in the Memorial Coin Shop. And the main set of this card is Performance. And then the Kaoru's second green card will be his solo event, and that event hasn't happened yet and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Vocal. And then for Koga, Koga also has two cards we're going to talk about. First one's going to be for his limited card, which was during the Link Click collab. And same thing with Ray's. Unfortunately, this card will never be back based off what they said in the notice. And the main set of this card is Dance. And then Koga's second green card is going to be for his Ban BP Gacha Scout. And this scout hasn't happened yet in our server and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Performance. And then lastly, for Adonis' green cards, we're going to talk about two as well. His first one is his Future Scout card. And that scout has already happened, and they will be added to the standard pool in the near future. And the main set of this card is Performance. And his second green card is his Future Scout 2 card, and that scout hasn't happened yet and will happen during these dates. And the main set of this card is Dance. Okay, now for an overview of the green team. So the green team is very interesting because there is a 3 out of 4 for two of the main stats. The first one being for the Dance main stat that consists of Future Scout Ray, Link Click Koga, and Future Scout 2 Adonis. There's two bad things about this team comp. The first one is that they're all gacha, so they're gonna be pretty hard to get unless you get lucky. The second one is that Koga's Link Click card is part of this team comp, and it is limited. There's no way to get him unless you already have him. And the second main stat being a performance main stat team that consists of A to Z Kaoru, Ban BB Koga, and Future Scout Adonis. And sort of like everything else that's been happening with a lot of the team comps is that there's not many event cards for a lot of these team comps, and it's mostly gacha. So hopefully you have them and they'll just be able to just get them piece by piece as time goes along. Okay, but that is it for the team comps. Undead's team comps are very interesting because a lot of the cards for Undead are gacha and not a lot of them are events. So in my opinion, Undead's a pretty pricey team to make unless you get really lucky, but the teams are pretty good nonetheless. For the red team, there is a 3 out of 4, and that is going to be their Dance main stat team that consists of Villain Kaoru, Rock Koga, and Beast Adonis. And then also a 2 out of 4 team that is going to be their vocal team with Noir Ray and Phantom Thief Kaoru. And the blue team, same thing, there is a 3 out of 4 team comp, and that's going to be their performance main stat team that consists of Succession Match Ray, Future Scout Kaoru, and Doll Adonis. And then they also have 2 out of 4 team comp for the rest of the main stats, the dance team being Altered Origins Ray and Future Scout 2 Koga, and then their vocal team being Prison Breaker Koga and Tsukumi Gatari Adonis. And then for yellow team is the odd one out where there is only a 2 out of 4 as their best comp, and that's going to be for two of their main stats. The first one being for their vocal team, which is going to be Initial Ray and Tanabata Adonis, and then a performance team of Future Scout 2 Ray and Future Scout Koga. And this is also only team comp where they have a member that's left out, and unfortunately is Kaoru. And then for the green team is very interesting because there is a 3 out of 4 team comp for two of the main stats, which is, I don't think I've seen that in another unit so far. And the first one is their dance main stat team, which consists of Future Scout Ray, Link Click Koga, and Future Scout 2 Adonis. And then unfortunately about this one is that Link Click Koga is limited, so if you don't have him, you can't get him in the future. And then the second one being a performance team with A to Z Kaoru, Ban Koga, and Future Scout Adonis. Okay, but that's it for everything Undead related. Next, after this video, we're going to talk about rabbits because they are next in the list. And rabbits also has an interesting team, but we'll talk about that in the next video. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put it down below. Also, if you like the video, feel free to press that like button. And then also, if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. But with that, hopefully you have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll see y'all next time. So, peace.